Hello everyone, Tyler Clark back to bring you some card magic, although we're going to start off this one a little different. We're filming this out of order, so I actually just a few moments ago showed everyone how to do a trick, and then I mentioned in it, I'll show you how to riffle shuffle sometime. Well, that's me doing it right now actually. So if you're wondering, why did he make a comment like that in the same video where he's showing us how to shuffle? Because it's not filmed in order. So full disclaimer, that's why. So I'm not going to show you how to do a trick, but something that a lot of magicians need to know how to do is shuffle cards. So if you have cards, you can like push the cards in like this. This will work in like chunking segments. Or if you put them all on the table, you can mix them up. But if you really want to start wowing people, this is something I'm going to do for you now. That's called a riffle shuffle. And it's actually a lot harder to do than it looks. This took me a lot of practice. When I first started doing card magic, I couldn't even do that. But when you learn how to do that, it's a lot of fun. I would drive my family crazy when I was learning how to do this because they'd hear the shh sound from the other room a lot. And they would always know when I was practicing card magic because they could hear it. So people can do this part pretty okay. Oops, because I dropped the cards everywhere. But that's part of learning how to do it anyway. So people can do this first part pretty okay, which is this. You split the deck and they can thumb through, but then this part at the end is the tricky part that I'm going to try to show you. So here's how I teach people how to do it. And I've been able to teach students at my school in the Card Magic Club how to do this with success. So hopefully I can bring you some success at home. A normal deck has 52 cards. That's the easiest way to learn, so you have a 52 card deck. Try to split the deck, doesn't have to be exact, as evenly in half as you can. So you have one pile on the left, one pile on the right. Take one pile with your left hand, the other pile with your other hand. And I like to do it kind of with this grip here. Index finger on the top, the other two fingers on the side, and your pinkies can kind of give support if you need to. But then the thumbs is the most important part. So we take the cards, we kind of push them here. Now watch what I do. I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to like bend it behind the card. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm like bending the index finger here and like pushing. So as I do that, I'm going to push up with my thumbs as well. And when I do that, we can release cards nice and gently. Doesn't all have to be exact, like so. And then at that point, if you want, you can just push them together until you learn how to do it again. So we split in half. Make sure all the cards are facing the same way, because if they're not, then your deck really becomes a jumbled mess. Okay, index finger here. As we push, we move the index finger to the back of the card, push up with the thumbs, and then release, and the cards will just fall like so. And then again, if you want to push in, that's fine. Now, the riffle shuffle part. That's called the bridge, by the way. This first part is you can bridge the cards, but then the riffle shuffle is the hard part. So here's the best way I can explain how to do it. You're going to put your thumbs here. Underneath, you're going to grab. And then you're going to like push, like bow the card. So it's going to be stuck in like this area underneath your fingers. So when you push in, it's going to go the other side like so. And it kind of holds in place. And then when you release the pressure on your hands, all the cards will fall into place. You're going to try this at first, and the cards are going to go everywhere. It happened to me. I got a little discouraged, but then I just kept practicing and practicing and practicing. Once your hands get used to it, muscle memory will kick in and it should be fine. So we'll get to that point again. Riffle shuffle. We move our thumbs here. The cards are going to kind of be sticking out, but that's fine. Push in to wherever, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Underneath your fingers here. So push the cards here. So you're making kind of like an arc, like almost like an arch shape. Release, and you can go from there. One more time. Riffle. Push together into the divots, and then release. And if you do that enough times, you truly can totally shuffle a deck. There is sleight of hand that you can do involving shuffling. It's harder than it looks, but if you want to make the point to a spectator, you show them that the deck is shuffled, and if they don't believe you, then you shuffle it as many times as you want. They can shuffle it, but that's sort of the basics on how to shuffle a deck of cards. I hope that my way I explained it to you made sense. That's how I learned how to do it, but much like anything with Magic, this especially will take practice. Before you experiment with more complicated tricks, it's good to start with shuffling the deck with the bridging and then the riffle shuffle. And once you get that, you should be able to go on to any other tricks with no problem. So hope you're able to learn something today about how to shuffle a deck of basic playing cards. I have another trick I'm going to show you. It does require you to know how to do a more advanced shuffle, the riffle shuffle, but if you know how to do the riffle shuffle, you should be able to do it. You don't actually need to know how to do a riffle shuffle, but it's a good show for it. So same thing as always, normal deck of cards. You can shuffle the cards. Your audience member can shuffle the card. It doesn't matter. The order of the cards is truly, it does not matter. So we're going to do 3 piles. 1, 2, and 3. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'm going to ask Adam Kitchen through the window to pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Adam Kitchen says pile number 1. I'm going to show the top card on pile number 1 to the camera. I'm not going to know what it is, but you at home will actually know what it is. So I'm going to show this card to the camera right now. Trust me, I don't know what it is. Okay. So I'm going to take this pile and I'm going to put it on the top of either pile 2 or pile 3. Adam, would you like pile 2 or 3? Adam says pile number 3. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the pile that he picked face up on top of a face down pile and then putting the other pile face up. So I've essentially made a sandwich. Face down, face up, and face down cards. I'm going to go, it doesn't matter if it's exact, go about halfway into the deck. Now, this is the shuffle part. I can do this like this and such. I'll show you how to do a riffle shuffle. It's a little more complicated than you might realize. It took me a lot of practice, but you can do it. So after you've done the riffle shuffle, you can show your audience member. Now you just have a random jumbled mess of cards. Really. You got face up. You got a lot of face up in a row because you put a face up pile or a face down pile on top of other things. So I like to go, I don't know, I'll go about halfway through the deck or so right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make 2 piles. So let me make that a little more even. Of face down and face up cards. Now, if you were paying attention at home, you may have noticed I did something sneaky already. I'll explain what that is later. But if you're paying attention, hey, why did he do that? I'll let you know why. Because if you see it from above, it's kind of obvious. But I'm sorting into 2 piles, face up and face down. When I do card magic, I'm not used to having a camera directly above me staring at everything I'm doing. And the rest of these cards are all going to be face up. So now, we're going to take this, we're going to break that, and put the rest here. So now you have a bunch of face up cards. The card, I'm being told right now, was the 10 of hearts. Is that correct? So if I did this correctly now, you can snap, I can do it like here. All the cards in the deck are all going to be face up. See, every card is face up. But then if I get to one curious little card right there, that is going to be face down. And if I turn this over, it should be your spectator's card right there, which was the 10 of hearts. Now a quick explanation as to how I did this. I can shuffle the cards, you can shuffle it. Spectator can shuffle, it doesn't matter. So 3 piles. Oops. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. You can move cards around. Now, this is a free choice. Your audience member can pick any of the piles they want. 1, 2, or 3. So last time, Director Adam Kitchen picked pile 1. We will do pile 1 again. This is the top card. For the sake of showing you how to do it, I'm actually going to look at it this time. I will show it to the camera as well. That was the top card on pile number 1. Okay. In this case, I know it. For you to know it too, 5 of hearts. Now they have left 2 piles, 2 and 3. I believe Adam picked pile 3. It doesn't matter. You take the cards, you turn it over. So your spectator's card is going to be the bottom card on the face-up pile. May not look like it matters, but it will. So then you take the other cards, put them on top. So you have 1/3 of a pile face down, 1/3 of a pile face up, and the other 1/3 of a pile face down. You go about halfway, just kind of guess where it is. It's going to be about halfway through the face-up cards. Now, you're going to take this pile, and you're going to shuffle the riffle shuffle like that. You don't have to. You can just push them in together afterward. But then an important part is you actually, as you're doing that, just flip it over. It doesn't seem like it's doing much, but flipping it over is important. And you can flash your spectator and show them, like, look, this is a face-up. These are all jumbled together. Now, I don't quite know how this always works out this way. But whenever you see a big string of face-up cards in a row, like right here, and I'm talking like several face-up cards in a row, the next face-down card is going to be your spectator's card. And just to flip it over to prove you, there's the five of hearts right there. I don't know how it always works out that way, but it does. There are some things in Magic that I cannot understand, and that's one of them. Why it always works out that all the face-up cards in a string end up, and then the next face-down card is their card, I don't know. So when I said, you may have noticed something from the eyes above. So I'll split the deck, like cut. So we have a couple, maybe like 3 face-up cards on the top. So you want to quickly, without them really realizing it, you can like push this card behind, and it looks like now you're breaking into 2 piles of face-up and face-down, when in reality, just to show you, their face-up card, face-down card is already in this pile. It's right there. It's the 5. So once it's at the top, then the rest of this is really just for show. You can like turn cards over and put them here. You can turn cards the other way and put them there. It doesn't matter, because the trick essentially is already done. None of these cards are going to mean anything for the final outcome. This is really just for show. Face down, and then these are going to be face up. So as I said before, whoops, your spectator's card is face down right there. There it is. It's still face down. These other cards, what I like to do is I like to turn it over, put some at the top and some at the bottom. Now you can do a spread, but when you show, you can snap, you can do some big magic perform, whatever, but you spread them, and your spectator will see that all of the cards are face up, and we get near the end, except for one card, which you should know how to do it by now, or you should have seen by now how it's done, is going to be their card, which in this case is the 5 of hearts. Magic, this is one that I can't explain. Why that card always ends up after the big string of face-up cards, I don't know. But that's what makes Magic so special. And that's why it's so interesting to me, because things like that just happen. It's not really a numbers-based trick. It will always work out that way if you use that kind of shuffle. And with enough practice, as always, this one I think really fools people because they don't expect their card just to magically appear face up. Adam Kitchen was surprised when I practiced this before we came on camera before about how to do it. So this is just another one that with practice, just get familiar with the cards, the shuffling together, and it should be good. So thank you for checking it out, and if you have success in it, please let me know.